Hey guys, my name is Cartoonz, and today I'm going to be talking about a little bit about the Fire Mage versus Destro Lock duels. And I'm going to be dueling Kobrak. He's pretty much the only active Destro Lock in the game that I see anyways. And just before we get started, I want to let you know what his spec is right now. And he runs with Dark Regeneration, Shadow Fury for the stunning all targets within 8 yards for 3 seconds, Sacrificial Pact, which is a huge shield, Unbound Will, which is a trinket, like a PvP trinket basically, and then Grimoire of Supremacy, which gives the upgraded pet, and then Manaroth's Fury, which gives your area of effect or spells like the area of effect it actually is, and increases it by 500%. So he puts down a Rain of Fire, and Rain of Fire, every 3 times it hits you, it'll stun you for like a second, I think it is. So it's really crazy. But the amount of area that it actually has is absolutely insane. It's completely unavoidable too. Like, you can't actually get around it. So let's go ahead and start this first duel. I'm going to start an invisibility just to be sure that I don't want him to get out, but he is going to Rain of Fire me anyways. So, I mean, you basically want to disrupt him as much as possible, because combustion, like getting a point to combustion is pretty much the most viable thing you can possibly have. And I'm going to Alter Time, Pyroblast, and then Pyroblast again, and I'm going to blink that Shadow Fury and then get that sweet CS off as well. And as you can see there, his pet actually spell stole my hot streak, and then I targeted his pet and then spell stole it back. So now that I got him pretty low, he's going to start popping his defensives, and now that he's trying to go offensive, I'm going to just Ice Block, because I know that I don't have much left to disrupt him, there's no point, and just keep up the damage, since his healing is pretty much going anyways. So I'm going to CS him on that fear, but he does get the fear off anyway, which was just fine. It did actually stop him from doing anything after that, so it's alright. I'm going to try and juke a spell lock here for a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be working. Okay, so he did just pop Dark Soul, and I'm going to spell steal that pretty immediately. Like, you want that spell to be off of him, 1, and 2, you want to have it yourself. Like, that's just a given. So I'm going to go ahead and get a Pyroblast here, and then Living Bomb, and then Pyroblast again, and here we go. Dragon's Breathing, and then the duel does end. So that was a pretty strong duel. And what to keep in note for that duel is that Rain of Fire does stun you a ton. And if you let him get the Q of his spells off enough, if he gets enough of his spells off, he will do a lot of damage to you very quickly. That's just how Destro Warlocks work. They always have worked like that. If they're able to get like a Immolate, and then a Immolate, Chaos Bolts, and then Incinerate spam and all that stuff, they're going to kill you pretty fast. So it's very viable to be able to stop their fears, because when they fear you, that's when they start their queue of spells. Alright, so here we go with the second duel, and this is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to try and keep this going as fast as possible. I want this to be an extremely quick duel, but I am in Invis, and I'm going to come out of Invis with a Polymorph right away, and he did actually spell lock, so that's a little bit of a mistake on his part. I'm going to Ring of Frost down right here, and then once he walks into it, I'm going to get a Pyroblast off of it, and then blink his Shadow Fury, CS him, get an Alter Time, Pyroblast, and then his pet actually spell stole this hot streak, so I'm going to spell steal that back, and then use it again, and then combustion on him, and spread it to his pet if I can. It's not in range though, so unfortunately. But I am going to do as much. He already popped most of his defensives, which is really good. And I actually did just deep freeze him on when he popped his Dark Soul, and then spell stole it away from him. So I'm able to kind of keep away a little bit what I can. But it's not exactly going to be the easiest thing, because he does have his defensives up right now. I did just get a Pyroblast though, so that's a little bit great. And I'm able to, I'm going to kind of wait out, because I want to get this Infernal Blast for the second Pyroblast, and I'm not going to do any damage yet. But I'm going to get an Infernal Blast, and then Living Bomb, Pyroblast again. And I'm just trying to keep up with them right now. Like, I'm just trying to not let him get his position back where he wants to be, and just keep going forward, keep pressuring him, doing as much as I can to get as much damage out as possible. But I am going to block right here because I'm getting pretty low, and he did just try to blanket spell lock me into my block, unfortunately, so that's just unlucky for him. And I am going to Pyroblast him, Cold Snap to keep my health up a little bit. He did just blink my Nova, but he is going to die of dots, because I was able to keep the pressure on him, and I didn't stop putting out damage, and I was able to efficiently make all my Pyroblast and just keep that going. It's a matter of not letting them get their health back, because Warlocks have a crazy amount of healing right now. I know Frost Mages do or Fire and Frost Mages do as well, but like, Warlocks do have more healing, and it's hard to keep up with it. So if you keep up the pressure, you should be able to keep him down without him being able to heal, obviously. And remember that you always can spell steal. Like, obviously, the pet right here, it spell steals your buffs. You can spell steal that back as a mage. You can, if your pet spell steals buffs on you, you can spell steal your buffs back. It's just like a tug of war buffs. Alright, and for the last and final duel, I am just going to go out with an all-out damage fest. I'm going to be doing as much juking as I can to be able to get his spell locks away. And I'm going to defreeze him here. He's probably going to trinket it. Yeah, he did trinket it, in fact. And I'm going to blink his Shadow Fury and then CS him right there. But he did pop his Aura Mastery, like, he just juked it and then popped his Aura Mastery. So I'm just going to block. I don't want any damage coming out, and he is just going to spam Fear me, unfortunately. I'm going to get my Dragon's Breath up right as I get out of this block, and I'm going to Dragon's Breath him, Living Bomb, and then Nova him, actually, and then get a Pyroblast off. And then I'm going to pop all my offensives, Living Bomb, or Pyroblast, Ultra Time, Pyroblast, Combustion, Spread, and then the duel will be over. Because I actually did get a really big Pyroblast crit off, so that really helped me out. But being able to just completely destroy his damage and stop him from doing damage to me is really what you need to do. You have to take the initiative. You have to be really quick and just go hard damage into him very fast. You can't really expect the fight to be very long and then expect to win. It's really difficult for that to happen. So I recommend just doing as much damage as you can in the beginning and controlling him, being able to blanket his spells and disrupt him as much as you can. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, feel free to hit that like button. And of course, if you are up to it, feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already, I will be putting out a lot of these types of videos. And I will see you guys next time. Cartoonz out.